In this video, I'm going to do another simple color digitization and just show you a few more little tricks. So let's start with project, create from image. For this demo, I'm going to select a giraffe that I have. I think it's, yeah, there we go. Okay, it's just a very simple colored giraffe here. I'm going to go ahead and make a rug out of this again. This would be a good one for, grafting or something else too, or even knitting. You could put this, into a knitting project. I'm just going to pick Hirschner's rug yarn again. Okay, and like I said last time, the best practice is after you've picked the palette, go down here and pick your grid size, because when you change, if I were to get all my colors adjusted just right and all of this, and then I come down here and change my grid size, then that can affect, because you're changing the grid size, that means that you're changing, how many divisions this thing is divided up into, and all the little cells that have the color, that overlap each other and stuff. That's going to those cells are going to change size when you change this grid size, and so that can affect, where the colors are placed and that kind of stuff, and actually what colors are actually selected out of the palette. So definitely go down here and pick your grid size next. If you know exactly how many, cells you want to do across and down, you could just put those in here. But if you want to know it in inches and centimeters, then you have to go into define units. So let's go in here. We'll pick latch hook. I think last time we picked the 5 holes per inch. Let's pick 3.75 holes per inch, which is the more common canvas that is often used in kits. And now we can see that 200 cells, up and down, is going to make it 53 inches tall, which is a little big. So let's go for 36 inches. Okay, so we're making like a small children's rug, maybe 36 by about 22 inches it's going to be. And let's go back up here to palette. Okay, and now let's take a look at it. All right, it's selecting 9 colors, and the colors are listed in here. There is a sorting option down here. Right now they're listed from least used to most used. And if you look at the parentheses on the right side here, that is the number of times that color shows up in the picture. So there's 12 pale peach and 18 ecru. And the black, there's 30 of those, and I can see where that is. That would be in the eyes up here. And if you put your mouse over that, you can see it. If you're on a desktop machine, you can see that that's black. Where these are at, pale and ecru, pale peach and ecru, I don't know. They seem to be maybe things that are on the edges that we just can't tell are there yet in that picture, because sunny yellow seems to be this, and vanilla, let's see, where's vanilla? So that's pale yellow. Here's vanilla. And notice, like in this picture over here, there's a lighter yellow here, which almost looks like this color here, but actually if you look at it really carefully, it's a little bit darker than that one. And so this nose area is matching to vanilla instead of to the sunny yellow. So I think I would rather have that vanilla just be replaced by sunny yellow. So I'm going to do a substitution there, and I'm going to pick sunny yellow for that. That looks more like the original picture. And then avocado, I can see where that is. Salmon are these darker spots, and pale yellow is the body color. White is the background. But these ones up here that are very few, they're not really showing up in any particular place. They must be around the edges of something. So those are things that we probably want to cut off. So, what I'm suggesting here is when you're setting up your colors and stuff, kind of look at where they're at on the picture. If there's anything like this that's hanging around at the bottom, then you can cut those off. I'm going to switch this to most used. So now we have the larger ones at the top and these two down here at the bottom, 18 and 12. There are 30 black. Now I'm going to cut off these bottom two by using this down here. It says remove colors used in so many cells or less, and it's always set to 5 to start with. But if I set this value to 20, Any number between 30 and 18 would work. I set it to 20. That says remove the colors that are used in 20 cells or less. So we want those two to go away. They were 18 and something less than that, and now they're gone. So now instead of 9, we've got 7 colors used. So we've cleaned up already a little bit of stuff on the outside just by doing that one thing. So we've cleaned those off of there. All right, let's go out and create our project. Okay, we'll give it a name, my giraffe. Okay. Oh, I think I'll replace it. I think that was probably what I was practicing with. Okay, so we've got our giraffe here, and if we zoom in a little bit, we can see we've got a few edge issues here. We've got some yellow around the edge of this stuff up here. So let's go ahead and do just a little bit of editing. And now I'm going to show you there are these palettes up here that we've been using. Usually I set them to show used when we're doing something like that, because once the digitizer has kind of picked the colors, usually you stick to those colors. You don't usually add a new one in, although you can just by turning this off, and selecting something else. So you can select those up there at the top, but there is also under display, there is a floating palette. So let me just show you that. This is a floating palette, and it can be moved around all over the screen. You can put it anywhere you want, right? And it has the same thing. The foreground color is in this section up above, and then you see the background color by clicking on this bottom section down here. You change the foreground color more often, so usually that one's open, and sometimes you don't have to ever change the background color. And it has the same boxes here, show used, show labels, that kind of thing. Okay, another thing that's interesting in the display menu is to go to display and say show cell color. And then when you move your mouse, it will tell you what color you're over, which is useful. Okay, so now we've got this pale yellow selected here as our foreground color. We used this tool before, our fill edge. Let's go in our fill edge, and let's go click here with our pale yellow. Okay, and that got rid of the yellow, there's some yellow dots around there. Then sometimes you can click on a few extra ones with the bucket. If I click on, something that's outside of that, I'm going to get a substitution out there, which we don't want. Undo that. We want to switch over to the pencil and fill that in. Okay. Then let's see, we can fill these in, and what else? Let's see, that's a different color down there. Oh, we could switch over to the salmon, pick up our edge tool or edge cleanup tool, and click on our salmon up here. That'll get rid of a little bit of stuff there, and we could come back and shape those antlers a little bit better if we wanted to. I'm going to pick up the pencil here and just go over and click the black and clean up the eyes a little bit. Let's go back over to the salmon, and we'll clean up this a little bit so that each nostril looks exactly the same. Another thing you can do is if you have a larger area, especially that you need to clean up like that and it's duplicated, you can select it with the selection tool down here and then just copy and paste it on top of the other one. I'll probably show that at some point. Then we've got a little dot there. If we come down here, we've got some things here that we need to clean up. And we can always go to white and clean up this a little bit. Clean up that a little bit. Maybe round these edges a little bit more down here in the green area. Something like that. Then we could always add a border around this. The picture is made so that it touches the edge of the thing. So you can always add a border around that using, like I showed in the previous video, display grid size, and you can add, a few rows of white around the outside, or you can use this add and delete rows and columns down here, and to add some things on the outside of where you're at. So if you have a straight edge that you're cleaning up, say you might want to click the line tool. So when I filled this in, it made kind of some orange there. So that might look a little better like that. Okay. And that made that a little thicker. So the line tool is really good for correcting things, particularly around the edges of something, even diagonally. You can take the line tool and draw a diagonal line if you want to straighten out an edge, and it works really well for that. Okay, so I think that's about it for this picture. Let's save it. And then remember, you've got this here, zoom to show all. So you can just kind of look at your finished picture and see how it looks. And you can always go back to where you were editing by clicking it again if it has that little return arrow on it. Okay, so that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.